Alright, hello everybody. I did a video on Sunday, I didn't end up posting it. I'm going to show you where I am right now. So this is for a zine exchange that I'm doing. And there's 15. Let's see if I can even find it. If I go to YouTube's, leave me alone. Dee has got this thing called a zine swap, and you can see right here. Unfortunately, I can't make it big. 15 prompts to choose from. Choose at least 3. And that's the list. So it's got like lawn chair, paints, jewel pink, gothic, octopus, donuts, fly, cave. I chose fly, cave, and jewel, and I'm probably going to use pink and possibly a decorated letter on the cover. I don't know yet. I'll show you what I've got so far. So I've done these 3 panels. This is the style of zine where you're going to fold it up 8 ways. So on this side, it's facing this way, you know, just the way it'll fold. And this is the panel I'm going to work on today. This is kind of where it starts. This would be panel 1. And I'm going to do this without any words, I don't think. And then we're going to show this sequence of him exploring the cave, finding the jewel, and then this fly monster attacks. And there's a brief battle. So short story in 8 panels. But let's go ahead and work on this panel. A couple of interesting things is I decided for funsies to not use my regular Rusty Nib. I'm using the I'm still using something from the Rusty Nib collection. I'm using this one, which is Watery Brush actually it's number 4. I thought it was a number 2. I told somebody it was round number 2, but it's not. It's Watery Brush number 4 Smooth. And this is a brush simulator, so you can see the kind of brushy marks that are in there. Of course, I'm about to ruin it with an eraser, but just want to get that line a little bit better. I went to bed early last night, and I was in bed reading Micronauts comics. And this is the Dan Broderick era. Like, the Michael Golden era actually doesn't last that long. I mean, that's one of the things they really celebrate is Michael Golden, you know, drawing the Micronauts. It didn't last, but like, I think it was like 10 issues or something. It wasn't that long at all. And for a while, it's Chaykin. It's Howard Chaykin, but he doesn't really do the drawing. He just did the layouts, and then Al Milgrom, who is also the editor at the time, was the guy doing the finished art. And I gotta say, I don't think Al Milgrom was that great of an artist, really. I mean, he was okay, but you could tell the Chaykin parts. And then you could tell the finishes were sometimes a bit rushed, it seemed. But that might have been like the kind of the level they were at. I am a big fan of Howard Chaykin, I'll tell you what. And I think this was like I even read like they even had the letters page in this collection that I'm reading, and it's funny. I think it's like an issue 3 or 4, it's got Cat Ironwood writing into the letters page of the Micronauts, complaining that she felt that Man-Thing was being misused as a way to sell the Micronauts, but she's like, it's not a good Man-Thing story. And then Kurt Busiek, I think, is also writing in. It's kind of interesting to see who's in these things. And then it's I think it's Broderick, David Broderick. I don't know if that's the right name. I'm looking at how I drew this, the eyes on this fly monster. They're hexagons. Not sure I'm getting the right curvature. Oh. Anyway, that's all pretty interesting. Um, the Micronauts starts out really epic, and then it goes, there's this big war between the Micronauts of Homeworld and Baron Karza, who was outright killed in the Prometheus pit. And then I'm gonna have to do some. We're gonna do some cave textures here. Then they go back to Earth for some reason. And they have like a weird encounter with a little girl who might be a mutant or some kind of psychic. She makes her dolls come to life and they're attacking the Micronauts. Because remember, the Micronauts are like, they're HO scales. They're tiny. They would be this tall in real life. Then they fight this weird guy called Odd John, who's like an insect collector. Then they have a guest star appearance with Ant-Man, of course. And they fight off Plant Man, which I think is a Spider-Man villain. Alright, I'm looking at how I drew this guy. It's definitely got more texture around the eyes. And then if you're gonna hold a sword going forward, I think your thumb, this would be the back of your hand, and then the other side would be the front of your hand. Right? So your thumb would be like this. And he's double fisting this sword, he's double handing it. One thing I really like about this particular brush is the way that it's not completely black. Like you can see that when I don't put a full force pressure on there, I get shades of gray. Like I get a lot of gray, actually. Some people would find that annoying. I actually kind of think it's interesting. Let's make sure we get the sword right. It's a pointed sword, like a samurai sword almost. And I drew it wrong, so we're going to try and fix it. Like I aimed it up there too high. I think this is a better aim. Okay. It's a little bit too early in the drawing to be doing this kind of detail in the eyes, but I'm just curious how it'll change things. I might end up redrawing one of these eyes too. Not not sure if it's this one or the other one. And if you look at my pencils, I actually did like a closed eye. I think it's if I take the ink out. I gave him this kind of slashed eye. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. It's too hard to see. Bring back the ink. But I opted to just go for the more traditional segmented fly eye with all the different facets in it. And he's got a lot of kind of disgusting hairs on him, as flies do. Okay. Now, we don't have to go too far in these. This panel, like actual size, is going to be about this big. About that big. So any kind of details that we put in, you know, if we go too far on the detail, it might just be wasted effort. Or make it look dirty, you know, like it's got too much detail. But it might also work out. I don't know. We'll see. Really like how our hero turned out. And also this, you know, I started out writing dialogue, like, for the characters. Like, his character's name was going to be Owaru. And I took it all out just because I think it sells it better without the dialogue, like where you have to just sort of imagine what's being said. And me dithering and going back and forth on, you know, do I want to do it this way or that way is what the reason I eventually just sort of decided not to release the video I did yesterday. I spent a lot of time sort of deciding which brush I was going to use and what was my approach going to be. And, you know, eventually I settled on those things. Of course, he's a fly, so he's got 6 arms and 2 legs. I am kind of working up the backgrounds to put a lot of contrast in there because to make the figures pop more because they're going to be so small. So counterintuitively, that means you must add detail to the backgrounds, at least solid black areas, to make them pop out more. Looking at his hand and it's not great. There's his hand. Okay. So kind of got 3 fingers on each hand. Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you watching my video too long, but that's my approach here. This panel is going to show these 2 characters battling it out. Till our hero wins. And he gets the jewel. This is actually going to be the first page, the splash page, if you will, where he's getting the mission from this mysterious character with a tail. And he's just talking about the gem, so he just shows a picture of the gem. Alright, I think that's enough for right now. I'm going to draw this one leg and we're going to call it quits. Here's the leg. Legs have two toes, two big toes. Come on, man. Can I draw the other leg too? Okay. Well, I don't see. It does look like there's kind of a separation there. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Okay, we are going to do this one in color, so please like, follow, and subscribe. There'll be more stuff later. This whole page will be eventually vintage colorificated using my Vintageizer Comics technique. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that, I think. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, see you next time.